Oh, boy.
Right. I asked them several questions related to things like that while they're here, and they refused to answer anything whatsoever. They said they're here to get information from me, not me get information from them.
Really? I thought in an investigation, witnesses are supposed to, bring up anything they think is important.
Right. Which I did, but you'd think there'd be some collaboration there, but...
Amazing. Did anything else in this interview not go well or seem strange?
Go well? Well, it was very similar to the one I did in customs, basic questions, take me through everything. What did you see? Can you describe the people that you saw, et cetera, et cetera? With one exception is that they had a stack of pictures, and they went through them one by one with me and asked me to identify each person or not, to see if I saw them anywhere or not. That was the one difference.
Amazing.
It was about 10 pictures or so. Two of the pictures were of the terrorist man, and they kind of tried to trick me. They acted like it was two different people to see if I would agree. But it was.
Oh, well, I was going to predict that, but I wanted you to say it yourself. If they are trying to cover up the investigation and screw it up, this is standard procedure. Now they're trying to impeach the witness. Because they really don't like what you saw, so we need to demand all of the airport video be released, not one video that was shooting a sidewall.
Here's how it went down. Just so you know, again, I'm not making any opinions. I'm just stating what I witnessed. He gave me a picture of the terrorist. I don't know what his name is exactly. It's a long Muslim name. I'm just going to call him the terrorist. And I said, okay, that's him. And then they said, can you identify this guy? And it looked to me like it was the terrorist again. And I said, is this some kind of trick where if I answer this wrong, you guys are going to try and use some kind of smear tactic against me to discredit me? And they kind of laughed, and I said, it looks like the terrorist again, but why don't you give me a full body shot? Because, part of myself identifying this man had to do with his entire body because he looks a little different.
His skeletal form.
Yeah, he's a short, skinny guy, and they were giving me headshots only. And I said, well, why don't you give me a full body picture, and then maybe I can tell you if this is the terrorist also, or some man that I didn't see.
Wow.
But they didn't have any of those. One other picture, it was kind of funny to me. And they showed me a picture of a man, and they said, do you know this man? And I said, I looked at them, and I kind of laughed, and I said, isn't this the man that had the bomb in his carry-on bag that you arrested in customs that you refused to admit exists? They didn't really like that comment from me and had no comment back to me. But I said, it sure looks like it's the man you refused to admit exists.
Really?
I don't know if you read that part of my story anywhere either. But.
Yes, but flesh that out for folks that aren't aware of it.
Okay, I'm sorry. When we got off the plane, we were being held in customs for a 6-hour time period, and they brought in some bomb-sniffing dogs after about an hour. One of the dogs found something in one of the carry-on bags of an Indian man. Now, this is a different Indian man than the one I saw pre-boarding. He was a younger man, about age 30. And he was immediately taken into an interrogation room, held there for about an hour, and he came out and was handcuffed and taken away. Immediately after he was taken away, we were moved to another location, and one of the FBI agents said the following: "You're being moved. It's not safe here. I'm sure you all saw what happened and can read between the lines on why you're being moved." Read into that what you will.
Wow.
But nobody will mention this part of my story anywhere. And, everyone on the plane, or a majority of them, saw this. We were all in the same room. And I'm sure other
Again, we're talking to eyewitness Kurt Haskell. His wife saw much of the similar information. Other witnesses are corroborating a lot of what they're talking about. Take your time, because we have the time. Then I want to get into what you saw getting on the plane, once you were on the plane, the time we have. I'm skipping the next break coming up. We have it to the bottom of the hour. We got 16 minutes. Any detail, anything specific, start over, slowly retell what you just told us.
What I just told you?
Yes.
About being in customs?
Yes.
Okay, slowly. We got off the plane. We were held in customs in a large baggage claim room. Held there for about an hour with only our carry-on bags, all of us together, all the passengers. Bomb-sniffing dogs arrived approximately 1 hour later. One of the dogs smelled something in the bag of a 30-ish, what I would say, again, an Indian man. He looked like he was from India to me. The dog sat there like he's trained to do if he finds something. An officer immediately came over and took the man and took the bag into what I would call an interrogation room. I couldn't see in the room, but I could see the entry door to the room. He was there approximately an hour. I saw him come out about an hour later. He was handcuffed and taken away. Immediately after this, we were moved to a different location, and an FBI agent said something close to the following. This isn't an exact quote, but similar. You're being moved to a new location because it's not safe here. I'm sure you all saw what happened and can read between the lines on why you're being moved.
Now, they were probably taking one of their handlers or agents off the plane. This is devastating info. And, Mr. Haskell, you've been trying to tell the mainstream media that information.
I tell the same story to everyone unless they just want to ask me specific questions. If they want to do that, that's fine. If they
but the point is, you've been trying to tell this, and it's been filtered out.
I'm sorry?
But you've been trying to get this information out.
Well, I just tell my story, what's done with it. I
understand, but I mean, you made the point. I haven't seen this anywhere in the media. This is big news.
Well, I know this. I've repeated that same story to countless news agencies. Now, not all of them, because some of them just want to do a 2 or 3 minute blurb on me and, what I saw when it was going on, or Mr. Sharp-Dressed Man, or what have you. But to my knowledge, not one media source has reported this incident in customs. Not one. That, to my knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Take from that.
Yeah, this stinks. This stinks to high heaven. I know you're just robotically giving us the facts. As a good lawyer, you understand that. I can obviously speculate. This is really stinking to high heaven as a cover-up of what we're not sure. Now expanding here, going to the beginning, or any other bombshells you want to drop on us, but going back to the beginning, more about this sharp-dressed man, more about how he was getting him on the aircraft with these international flights. You've got to show the passport again. I've done that myself many times. At the gate, this doesn't happen. Why was this guy given such deference? Did he look like security? Did he flash anything? Go back to the time, slowly tell us what you saw, and then anything interesting about the underwear bomber himself.
Okay. So before we boarded, obviously we're in Amsterdam. It was just my wife and I. There weren't any seats in the boarding area, so we sat on the floor by what I would call the ticket agent, the last person that checks your boarding pass before you board the plane. We're about 10 feet away or so, just playing cards. And, passing time, and I was kind of people-watching, and I saw these two men approach the ticket agent. And they just kind of caught my eye because it seemed strange to me that they were together. One I would describe as he looked like he was a poor, a black teenager is how I would describe him, 16, 17 years old or so. What I thought was 16 or 17 years old. And the other man looked like a 50-ish, he looked wealthy, what I would say Indian man now, whether he's of a similar race or something, I don't know. But to me, it looked like he was from India. And they approached this ticket agent together. It was quiet, and I could hear the entire conversation. Only the Indian man spoke, not the black man. And what he said was, this man needs to board the plane. He doesn't have a passport. The ticket agent then responded, well, if you don't have a passport, you can't board the plane. And then the Indian man responded, he's from Sudan. We do this all the time. And the ticket agent then said, well, you'll need to talk to my manager or something along those lines, and pointed the two men down a hallway to go speak to the manager. And they then proceeded down the hallway. This was the only time I saw this particular Indian man. This was the only time I saw the black man until he tried to blow up our plane a few hours later.
Okay, going back, so then you must have gotten on the plane before him or something. You didn't see how he got on.
No, because shortly